Hello, everyone. Can you all hear me loud and clear now? Just give us a couple of messages. Let me know that we're doing all right. So apologies. Let's start again. Time out. Boom. Round two. So thank you so much for being so patient and joining me and staying online to join me on this incredible motivational talk that I'd like to do today. The talk I'm going to do is actually about focusing on the positivity and how we can focus our minds on positive outcome. Because at the moment, I've been getting messages this week, from people saying to me, look, Kev, it's been a crazy week. We're in, like the eighth or ninth week. Sorry, I can't even speak now. Ninth week of lockdown. And it's crazy. How do you stay positive when you don't know when you're going to get your next paycheck? How do you know that? Let's get closer because I can't seem. Let me see if I can do it this way. Maybe we can get a bigger. There we go. How do you stay positive in such an unpredictable time? Guys, I know there's a few of you out there still joining. So thank you for joining me, and we will speak about this shortly. So I know I've had a few messages from a couple of friends of mine, like Sam Kane, who's just sent me a message saying, Kev, we can't hear you. So, mate, thank you for that. I'm going to try and bring this screen forward a bit so we can really hone in and speak to each other. So apologies again for this. This was one of those technology things that happens when, when we kick in. I think that's all right, isn't it? Yeah, there you go. We've got a few of you joining in there. So, guys, listen, it's been a crazy week. It's been a crazy week for me, particularly because of. Have we still got sound? Nick, can you give us a message on the screen? Have we still got sound, or have we got nothing at the moment? Give us a quick message. Let me know what's going on, mate. So we have got sound, yeah? Brilliant. Okay. Going with what's happened this week. People have been writing into me saying, Kev, how do you stay positive? How do you stay positive in such difficult, unpredictable times? And it's cheers, Sam. Sam's just sent me a text message saying we've got sound. Brilliant, brother. God bless you, mate. How do we stay positive in such an unpredictable time? And to be fair, it is a seriously scary time. Okay, because we've been in lockdown now for nearly 2 months. And during this time, or actually some of you have been in lockdown further than that, you've been in lockdown for nearly 9 or 10 weeks. And it's a crazy time. Where do we go? What do we do? Who do we meet? None. You can't do any of it. You can't do anything. Your life has come to a standstill. Okay, that's it. But that's not the depressing part that I look at. Okay, because I look at that as a new change that I'm expecting to adopt in my life, because if I don't adopt it, I'm going to stay back. And it's as simple as that. So when people say you can't go out and meet people, fine, let's do this then. What we're doing right now, we're talking to each other. We're on on the Zooms, on the StreamYards, on all kinds of platforms, everything from Skype. I mean, Skype's been around for decades, not, I think maybe a decade, not probably more than that. But, there's so many different channels we can use to connect with people. So that's the first thing. So I haven't really looked at it as a negative, not seeing people and whatever, because actually it's given me more of an opportunity to connect with people and talk with people and call them and find out how they're doing, So in that sense, yeah. But it is depressing because when do we get our next paycheck? When do we pay our next bill? When do we pay our next mortgage? Yeah, we've all got this holiday mortgage moment, but that's going to finish soon. We've only got we're in May now. Mine will finish in June or July, I believe. So that's what I've applied for. So after that, what do I do? Where do we go? It's a really, really scary time. So how do we focus on staying positive and motivated? Okay. And it is difficult. It is truly difficult. But if you can practice this every day, it is a step forward in being able to move to a clearer idea in your head on how we're going to make the rest of the year work out for all of us. Okay, because we are all in the same boat. Without a shadow of a doubt, we have all lost our ability to, one, to earn money, two, to communicate and interact with people physically, three, even our own families we've not been able to see or cuddle or kiss due to the coronavirus. And this week, my questions to you this week are, what have you gone through? You know, what have you experienced this week? And you thought to yourself, good God, how do I get out of that? You know, what negativity has bestowed upon your mind that you think to yourself, oh, you know, it's not going to get any better. It's just not going to get any better. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm stuck. I'm doing this. I'm just not getting anywhere. And I'm going around in circles. And the government didn't give us much of a break. You know, yeah, they didn't tell us what we can and can't do, because they are leaving it to us to make those choices. And a lot of people are making poor choices. Let's be honest there. A lot of people are making seriously poor choices. So how do we conquer this? How do we get out of this? And it's simple. In my mind, it's simple. And that is, we focus our mind on not what is going on negative, but what is going to go on positive. Okay. And I'll show you what I mean by that. This week, I experienced probably one of the most horrendous things in my life. Okay. Something I'd never actually seen before. I'd never experienced it. I don't think I've even come close to it. On Saturday at 1:30 p.m, my beautiful wife, Michelle, steps out of the kitchen door into the back garden. And as she does that, her foot slips from under her. She misplaces where the foot should have gone on the step. And her foot literally went to the left. Her left foot went even further to the left. And she fell on her back and took the pressure on her right foot. And she fell on the floor. And the first thing we heard was, oh my God, ow, 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 ow. And of course, I'm doing the barbecue. I see her, and she is in complete and utter pain. There's no other word I can use. It's pure pain. It's like, I can't even describe it. I'll be honest with you. I don't know how to describe what I saw in her eyes and in her voice. The sound I heard in her voice was so tragic. It was insane. But for some reason, and this is what I want to share with you when I say about being positive and not negative, because I'm so positive, and I've always been a positive person, always. And I treat every experience, no matter how bad it is. And don't get me wrong, I'm still a human being. I'll still get upset. I'll still get depressed and angry, but I don't allow it to overtake my mind. I don't. Because the moment you let it do that, it's an experience that becomes a memory. And that memory becomes subconscious in your mind, which means you can tap into that and you can recollect that negative memory again and again and again. And if you continue to tap into that negative memory, then what you're actually doing is you're saying that memory should stay alive. And if it stays alive, then you'll attract more negativity. It's as simple as that. It's the magic that happens in us. It's the magic that happens in us. Negativity attracts negativity. Positivity attracts positivity. So back to my wife. She's on the floor. She's grey. Within 30 seconds, that woman has turned from, a vibrant color to grey. Her eyes are now rolling behind her head. She's literally she's losing consciousness. And I've looked at her foot, her left foot, and it is literally twisted 45 degrees from where her kneecap and her ankle is. It's gone. It's gone. And my initial reaction was, stay calm. There's no point panicking. There's no point screaming and shouting and going absurd and crazy. Deal with this, because she's already going through it. There's no point trying to control the situation when it's happened. So immediately, because I think so positively, my immediate reaction was grab her foot and twist it back, which I did. I didn't even think. I grabbed her foot and I cracked it back, and I heard bones crunching. I heard muscles crunch. I know this is a little bit, some people might find this a bit hard to listen to, but there's a point to this. And I turned it back round, and as I turned it back round, that's when she lost all consciousness. She was going crazy, screaming, "Ow, ow, ow!" The pain's going up my leg. This, that, whatever. At that point, I pointed to my son. I've got twin 6-year-olds, as most of you would know. And I pointed to my son and said, go and get the phone and dial 999. We've taught him to do that. So we went and grabbed the phone. He gave it to my mother-in-law. She called the ambulance and we explained what was going on. And then I took the call. So while I was trying to look after my wife and obviously trying to calm her and trying to make her breathe, at the same time, I was obviously speaking to the hospital, the ambulance, and explaining what was going on. So yeah, there was a crazy 10 minutes, I think, 10 to 12 minutes before the ambulance arrived. And during this time, I promise you, this is what I was doing. Every single positive thing I could think about, I was trying to focus that onto my wife. So while she is in agony, and serious agony, and I'll explain what happened to her ankle, because she's in serious agony, she's not going to be focusing on anything positive. She's not. It's a natural reaction. We're all human. But I'm not in pain. So I'm now reflecting my energy on her. And what I'm doing is I'm just saying, we're going to be all right. In my mind, I'm not looking, I'm looking at her and saying, honey, just breathe. But in my mind, I'm going, you're going to walk again, hun. We're going to go down. Your beautiful legs are going to be, tanned at the beach. You're going to be just back to normal. You're going to be walking the dog. I mean, you remember that time when we got married and I was holding you in my arms? Do you remember how beautiful you look? And those are the kind of things I was constantly generating. You're going to be fine. You're going to be great. I love you. You're so beautiful. Oh my God, it's just, this will be over in no time at all. The pain's just going to go. Don't worry, I'll take the pain. Let me consume some of that pain and let me send you some positive energy. And I was constantly doing that, constantly doing that, sending the energy, positive, constantly, whilst I was looking at her going, honey, just keep breathing. You'll be fine. The leg's fine. You look fine, darling. If you need to rest, we'll do that. Now, I know certain things that you can't do. You can't give someone water when they're in serious pain. If they've broken an ankle, an arm, a back, a leg or whatever, you can't give them water. I made that mistake. My wife wanted water, so I gave her some water. When the paramedics arrived, they took over. But at this point, I'm very calm. The boys are calm. They're sitting indoors. My mother-in-law, she's a little bit panicky, of course, and why wouldn't she be? So she's kind of worried, and I'm kind of keeping her away from Michelle because everyone who has a certain energy can pass that on. Energy has a 3-meter circular around you. Okay, no matter what they say, there's an energy kind of sphere we have around us. The stronger your passion, the stronger your feelings about someone, the stronger you want something, the more energetic your persona will be and your circle will be, and people can pick up on that. So at this point, I saw my mother-in-law really panicking, and I could see how worried she was, how she was shaking, she was tearful. Her daughter had been hurt, and it's a mother-daughter connection. I don't know what that is, but I know that kind of mother and child connection would be serious. I know if my sons were hurt, I know how I'd feel, but I don't want to feel that way. That's why I don't think that way. I've never thought about my sons hurting themselves, because if I do, then they might. So I don't. And this is the logic I have in my mind. Now, once I managed to keep my mother-in-law to a certain distance and my sons, and I managed to keep my wife focused on me, she began to go in and out of consciousness. And by the time she got to the point where I'd brought her back round again and we'd made her feel comfortable, it was now the point where my mother-in-law had kind of seen that I was keeping it all calm. She was keeping it calm as much as possible. And my twins were constantly asking questions and coming along and kissing their mum on the head and saying, "We love you, mummy. Please don't, don't cry," and this and that, whatever. So we were all giving her ultimate love. And I'll be honest with you, to a certain degree, she calmed. She calmed. She was in pain, but she calmed. Her breathing became calmer. Her persona suddenly became slightly calmer. She was saying she was in pain and she was owing all the time, but she was calming down. And I was believing that my overall energy and calm and love for her was kind of was protecting her from some of that pain. And I genuinely believe that. I genuinely believe that. And I do it regularly with other people. I do it with my sons. I overwhelm complete love for them and whatever. And sometimes they say to me, "Daddy, stop bringing us a magnetic heat." And I look at them and go, "Well, what are you talking about?" And he goes, "Oh, you love us too much." And it's like, because I'm overwhelming the heat, I'm overwhelming the passion towards them. I've got that, and I know I can use it. And that's what I did. And then paramedics obviously sorted everything out when the morphine kicked in. Hello. And that was great. And then they put her into a splint, they put her on a chair, and they took her to hospital. Now, she got to the hospital, and she's been in there since last Saturday. And we've been, talking, and I've been there. I've given her some stuff to have, to look after her and whatnot. However, on the second night, she was there. I was able to go into the hospital, and I went upstairs. I don't know how they allowed me in, but I got in, and she was in the first ward with three other patients. And I walked up to her, and we were just talking, and she was obviously in and out of like the morphine and this and that, whatever. But as soon as she saw me, she brightened up. And she smiled, and I said, "You okay, Angel?" And she said, "Yeah, I'm just in real pain and this and that, whatever." I said, "Bless you." And she said, "Thank you for everything you've brought me and this and that, whatever." But she said, "I need to tell you something." I said, "Go on." She said, the doctor asked about the foot, because obviously they've operated on it, so they knew how far it had been twisted. And they said, "Did the paramedics turn your foot back round?" Well, my wife said, "No, my husband did it." Why? Thinking I'd done something wrong. And obviously I would have thought the same. But the doctor said, "Your husband actually saved you from having your foot amputated, because it was twisted so much, it had stopped all blood circulation. So if he hadn't twisted it back, we would have had to amputate your foot." So you kind of go in your head, what part of that did I pick up that I had to do that? Because they always say, do not touch a patient when they're in an accident, when they've, a car accident or this. Don't pull them out of the car. Don't move them. Don't, because they might have a very tentative, a spine issue or a neck issue or a leg issue, and you can damage them. And that is a fact. But I didn't think twice. I just thought, that's my wife's foot. That needs to be turned back round. And I remember specifically now that the voice in my head said, "Do it. Do it. You'll be all right. Just do it." So I did. And I want to share that with you, because not only does that now freak me out more than it did then, but I want to share this with you as well. And I think this is an incredible part of why my wife went through what she did. Okay? When you say something over and over and over again, you create it. And if you say it and you believe it, it will come true. So you've got to think it and believe it, and it will happen. Okay? So I just want to put this point. So I want to explain this to you, and then I'll take a few questions. I want to explain this to you. When you say to yourself, I do this regularly. I say, my next car will be a Bentley Continental. A Bentley GT Continental. That's what I want. That's the car. That's my dream car. Everyone has their own dream cars. Some people want Ferrari, Lamborghini, Rolls Royce, or some people just want a car. Okay. But when you say what you want. Okay. And I want a Bentley Continental GT. That's what I want. Okay. And I want it in racing green, and I want the full works on it. And since I've said that, I can't be more truthful to you right now and put my hand on my heart and say, every single day since I've said that, and that's got to be about 8 months, I have seen a Bentley GT Continental 1, 2, 5, 6 every single day since I started thinking I wanted one. What does that mean? That means I'm attracting that particular passion. I'm attracting that. I'm attracting it. And if I'm attracting it, I'm seeing it. Okay? Now I've given you that example of what I'm trying to explain. When you think about something and you focus on it, you will see it. It will become a reality for you. And for 5 or 6 weeks since the lockdown, and we've been staying at home, my mother-in-law's been living with us as well. Both my mother-in-law and my wife have both been saying for the last 4 to 6 weeks, isn't it terrible this, during this lockdown? I mean, I wouldn't want to go to hospital, would you? I wouldn't want to be in hospital. Oh, I wouldn't. No, not during this time. Can you imagine what would happen if we were in hospital? I wouldn't want to be in hospital, would you? Oh God, imagine you got no coronavirus and then something happens and you've got to go to hospital, and now you get it. Now, that's not her stopping herself from going to the hospital. You're talking about a hospital. So you're attracting a hospital. You're attracting it. I don't talk about hospitals. I've never been in a hospital. I've never slept in a hospital. I've never been operated in a hospital. I've never been in a hospital because I don't think about it. I don't focus on hospitals. I don't. So this is the logic I'm trying to put over to you. There is a magic out there. There truly is a magic. And I will go into this more deeper and deeper as the weeks go on. And I'll explain each section in more detail so you understand what I'm trying to explain. But when you focus on something and you believe it, it will come true. It will genuinely come true. And that's something that I want to implement to you right now. Okay. So those people that say, oh, I don't want COVID-19. Oh, I don't want it. I don't want it. Well, you're going to get it because you're focusing on not wanting it. So you're attracting it. So even if you don't want it, you're attracting that. Rather than saying, let's just not talk about it. Let's not talk about it. Because when you talk about it, you attract it. Simple as that. Now, we'll take a few questions. If there's any, Nick, there that people have been asking, if there's any questions that people want to know, we can share those questions. John Ryan, but who was cooking the barbecue? Who do you think, son? I'm the barbecue king. I was cooking the barbecue. Well, actually, I was on the last street. We had about 12 king prawns, which is Michelle's favorite. And I was on the verge of completing it, the prawns, when she fell. I dropped I just dropped everything. I left the barbecue. I slammed the lid down and I just went straight over to Michelle and I carried on. I just carried on looking after her. I didn't even worry about the prawns. I mean, let that burn. You don't, your focus is gone. That's it. You're not going to eat it. And to be fair, all that barbecue that I cooked, by the way, John, it all went. And John Ryan, by the way, just to give you the heads up, is a fantastic motivational talker himself. If anyone's interested, he's a top guy, and he does motivational talks on mental health and bullying and other, he talks about cancer and how to come out of it on the other side. He's got great motivational talks as well. So John, God bless you for joining me again, matey. But basically the entire neighborhood had the barbecue. We made that much food. We fed 3 different families. I'm not joking. I fed Ken up the road. I fed Enid and Derek next door to us, and I even gave a plateful to another family member. And John's on tonight at 9 p.m. So there you go. So yeah, we got another one here. I always put a picture of what I'm attracting on my desktop or screensaver, so it's always reminding you. Do you know what, Stevie? I do exactly the same thing. Okay. Not only do I do that, I've got on my desktop everything I want to attract, but I also have a picture board, which I have. It's a private one to me, so I have that and I look at it. But let me give you a tip. On your phones, if you go to pictures and you scroll down from the pictures on, the menu and what you can and can't do with your pictures, there is an option that's called I forget what it's called now, when you can just watch picture after picture after picture. I forget the title they use on Apple iPhones, but it's like a picture after they literally, you put a group of pictures together in a folder and it will just play them for you one by one, and it's got a little bit of background music to it as well, and it's really nice. And I've called that my like little streaming photograph streaming thing, that is, and I've called it my goals. And what I do is I put everything that I want to achieve in my life in that, and just before I go to sleep, literally every single night, I promise you, without fail, every single night, I sit down just before I'm going to go to bed, and I think about everything I've done for the day and what I could do to improve. And then just as I'm getting to that point where I'm just going, I'm going to go. I know I'm going. I put that on, the little slideshow. That's what it's called, by the way. Thank you. Little slideshow. And I put it on there and I just watch the images of what I want to achieve. And I'll be honest with you, hand on my heart, I have achieved many of the things that I've downloaded into those pictures. Many of them. And I still continue to. I update it regularly. I update different images. And that can be everything. You can have images of cars, houses, holidays, jobs, work. I'll share a couple of the images I have. One of them is a image of a full audience. It's a massive theatre, full audience. It's an image over from above the heads right down onto the stage, and it's got a full audience. And I look at that every time. I look at that image every time. I've got another one that is me on a piano, but I've got an image of me on stage with a piano, and that can be any backdrop. It can be the London Palladium, it can be the Albert Hall, it can be cruises that I do, it can be national tours that I do, it can be international tours. It doesn't matter. It's a great image. It's a great image that I look on and I focus upon all the time. There are other images I have on there. I have images of my family at the beach. So that's another goal that I want to achieve. I want to achieve seeing my family on a beach and running around and enjoying it. I have an image of I have a sign that says private school. It's just an image, but I want my children to get the best education possible. So it doesn't matter if they're in private school or if they're in just normal non-private school. I don't know what they call it, but private or non-private. The truth of the matter is I want them to get the best education possible. So that then links to how I would earn money and how I would do it. So everything has a little kind of connection with each other. And I update it regularly. I even updated it recently, by the way, with a guy, believe it or not, with a six-pack. Okay. Now, the reason I've done that is not only that I might want to have a six-pack one day, but the other reason I've uploaded it is so that I can focus on health, because I want to be healthy. I'm 46. I want to be healthy when I'm 56, 66, 76. I want to be healthy. So I focus on that. So what do you do? Who does, pictures and whatever? Andy Ray, will you talk more about manifesting what you want? Yeah, of course I will. Look, I'll give you some examples, what I've done and what I've achieved. Okay. This is a prime example. June of last year, 2019, I was adamant that when my car came up for lease, I had a Mercedes AMG, silver one, beautiful car, CLA, with an AMG body kit on it. And I was adamant that from that car, I was going to go to a car either that looked like an Aston Martin, excuse me, or was an Aston Martin. And the reason that I wanted to do that was because I love Aston Martins. I love the cars. I love the sound they have. I love the look. And I went and did a show in Peterborough for a great charity and a great friend of mine called Angela. And at that charity, I bumped into a gentleman who was one of the sponsors of the charity. a wonderful guy called Tony, a good friend of mine now. And Tony said to me, are you thinking about changing your car? And I said, you must be a car salesman. He said, I am. I said, yeah, I am actually. I've got probably about 4 to 6 weeks before I have to change the car. And I've been looking at either an Aston Martin or perhaps something that looks similar to it. I don't know, just a really nice looking car, maybe another Mercedes, but sporty looking, you know, something a bit more slick like an Aston. And he said, why an Aston Martin? I said, because I think they're beautiful. They've got a really nice body shape and they're great to look at. And I'd really like one. He said, okay. Ever thought about a Kia? And with all due respect, okay, and there might be a lot of you out there that drive Kias, my initial reaction to it was, what? No. Sportage? Don't think so. He said, no. We've got different makes of Kia. And I said, no, it's all right, mate. He said, no, please, give me a moment. He said, let me just show you a few of the cars. I said, all right. And because he was sponsoring the charity event that we were doing, he'd brought 6 cars onto the forecourt of the hotel, so you could go and have a look at them. And I walked out, and there was 6 cars, all Kias, and one at the front, a red one, that I immediately said, no, that's like, oh my God, what is that? That's an Aston, isn't it? And I'm not joking. My exact words to him were, whose Aston Martin's that? Because I saw it from the front. I didn't see it from the side. I saw it from the front, and it was beautiful. And he said to me, oh no, that's a Kia. And I again went, come on, mate. And he went, no, seriously. And I looked around the side, and it was a Kia. And I looked at it and I said, oh my God, that looks like an Aston Martin. He said, yeah. He said, it's based on 2 shapes. And Aston Martin on the side, you can see, is very similar to the Kia, or the Kia is very similar to Aston. And I said, wow. And I said, you know, this looks amazing. Can I have a test drive? He said, absolutely. The following morning, they gave me a test drive. The rest is history. I lease one now, and I've got the most incredible deal. And I have not seen another car like it. As in, I don't think I've seen more than 3 Kias, Stingers. They're called Kia Stinger. I don't think I've seen more than 3. Have a look at them on Google when this show's over, and you know, you'll see what I'm talking about. But I attracted it. I kept saying I want a car that either is an Aston or looks like an Aston, and I got it. That was a prime example of me manifesting a certain situation, and it came to me. It attracted it to me. Here's another one for you. On a daily basis, I manifest this. And Cherry, give me 2 seconds, darling, and I will answer your question. I'll come back to Cherry in a minute. I manifest every day the idea of new and past clients who I've done shows for contacting me. So before I go to sleep, or just before I wake up, I'm not making this up. I do this every day, guys. I truly do. This is not for, like, you know, trying to get more fans or, you know, trying to build a bigger audience and this and that, whatever. I hope that happens. That's one of the things I'm focusing on. But I'm telling you this as a fact. Just before I go to sleep, I look at the slideshow. Just before I wake up, I say to myself, today's going to be an awesome day. I'm going to get 2 or 3 really amazing calls that are going to change my life. I'm going to do something incredible that's going to make me really happy. And I'm going to do some brilliant stuff for my wife and my children. Every single day. Other days, I'll come up with something else. I'll go, today, I'm going to get the most incredible opportunity. One morning, I swear to you, I woke up and went, today, I'm going to make 30 grand. That was it. Today, I'm going to make 30 grand. I don't know how, but I want to make 30 grand. That's it. And that's all I said. I just woke up and went, right, today I want to make 30 grand. Simple. Came to the office, sat down, and we were sitting there and we were talking, me and my team. And we got phone call after phone call after phone call after phone call. I took personally 4 corporate bookings that day. And my operations manager, who looks after all the cruises we do for all our artists, took, I think, something like 15 cruises. We made over 30 grand in one day because of the bookings we took. So you kind of get an idea that people, if I'd woken up and gone, I want to make 30 grand, I just said, I want to make 30 grand. I didn't say I want to make 30 grand. You've got to be very specific with what you want. If you're not specific, it won't happen the way you want it to happen. If you turn around and say, oh, I want a happy life, that's not specific enough. That's not specific. I want to be happy because I want to foster a new child. I want to adopt a baby. I want a brand new car that's red and it's got alloy wheels. You've got to be specific. I wasn't specific. I said, I want to make 30 grand. I want to make 30 grand. Did I say for me or for my company or for my wife or for my friend? No, I just said, I want to make 30 grand. And it happened. I swear it happened. Now, I could do that every day. But I know the reality of how attracting energy works. I know how it works. And that's why I know what to ask for and how to compose myself and how to manifest it. Any other questions? Do we have any? Cherry, I think. I have what I need written down and it's under my pillow. And I ask for help, still not found a new place to live. But what you're doing, Cherry, let me be quite precise with you here. Have you said where you want to live? What kind of a house you want to live in? What will make you happy in that house? What would you need in that house to make it good for you, Cherry? Because I know you're in a wheelchair. Am I right, Cherry? I think you're in a wheelchair, aren't you, darling? Do you need a house with space? Do you need a house that's got a big enough kitchen that you can move back and forth, or a garden that's got a ramp? You know, you've got to be specific. You've got to be specific. If you're not, the infinite intelligence out there that's going to send everything you're attracting won't. You've got to be specific. Okay? Specific. And if you are, things happen. I promise you they do. But you can't think of it once or twice or 3 times. You've got to give it the time to manifest itself. You've got to. You've written it down. You've got it under your pillow. But do you read it 3 or 4 times a day? Do you pick it up and go, I want a house that's a bungalow in Southend, that's blah, blah, blah. I mean, I'm just making this up, but in a beautiful place, blah, blah, blah. And I want it to look like this. And I want 4 windows and a garage or blah, blah, blah. But do you say it specifically or do you go, I just want a house? Because if you just want a house, then I don't think you're going to be manifesting it entirely. You've got to give your entire passion to that manifestation. I want to walk. A friend of mine, which is something I'm helping my wife with at the moment. I'm kind of encouraging her to start thinking this way. But a friend of mine was in a show, in a musical, and he jumped off a set and basically broke both his legs. And they said, you'll never dance again. And I remember he was one of the first experiences I had in seeing someone manifest their own life back to normal again. Every single day, he had images of dancers, including himself, by the way, in the pictures, of doing the splits up in the air, doing ballet moves and this and that, whatever. He did. I mean, he was an incredible dancer, and he just kept putting these pictures up, images up everywhere. We spoke a lot, and we had a really good relationship. We were really close friends. And he did it, and he did it, and he did it, and he did it. And it took him. Okay, so he went down in February. By July, he was back on the stage, dancing. So it just shows you can manifest your own future if you constantly think about what you want to do. The universe doesn't recognize words. It only recognizes the language of feelings and vibrations. Feel the happiness of getting it. Stevie, that's true. But I also believe it does. Actually, I disagree with the bit about it doesn't recognize words. I think it does. Because specific words, when repeated again and again and again, create that energy. So I think you've got to say those words. You've got to say those words. I think just thinking about it is strong, it's energetic, but it's not as powerful until you say, I want that specific thing. I want that specific thing. And I think constantly repeating those words, I want a healthy body. I want to be able to run the marathon. I'm going to run the marathon. Now, by saying it is one thing, but you've got to also implement the action. You've got to. Without it, you can't do anything. You've got to implement the action. And I think once you implement an action and keep thinking about it and keep being passionate about it, it will work. But here's another secret. Here's another thing for manifestation. You've got to believe it's already happened. What does that mean? That means when you get into your car, okay, so I do this, right? I get into my Kia Stinger, but I imagine that I'm getting into my Bentley. Every single day that I get into my car, I imagine I'm getting into my Bentley. And then what I do is when I'm walking my dog and I'm walking around the block, when I come back, I already envisage that I'm seeing my racing green Bentley outside my house. I think it's already there. You've got to believe it's already happened, because then what happens is the magic automatically kicks in, because your brain doesn't know whether you're in the moment or you're imagining the moment. So it doesn't know the difference between real and not happening yet, like the unreal. But it's not unreal. It's the real, as in that moment. And the fact that if you turn around and thought, I live in a mansion with a Bentley and my butler's downstairs. I mean, I'm going all out here, right? But if you imagine that and you believe in your heart of hearts that when you walk downstairs, the butler's going to greet you, your brain doesn't actually know the difference, whether that butler's there or not, because the manifestation kicks in. It's a very hard thing to explain, and I will go into this more deeply in other episodes, but you've got to believe it's happened. The moment you believe it's happened, it comes to you. It comes to you. Any other questions? I always said I'd marry Linda Lusardi, and I did. And do you know what? That is the best example. That's the best example ever. The fact that he said I was going to marry. I don't think I was the only one thinking that, though. You were, though. You were the one thinking it the hardest. You were. Because if you weren't, someone else would have got in. You were the one that was thinking the hardest, that I want to be with this woman. Okay? If you didn't think it, because I know you met in pantomime. Imagine if you didn't think it, Sam. Imagine if you just went, oh, she's fit, but didn't think you were going to be with her. You didn't think I was going to be with her for the rest of your life. Then you wouldn't have been, Sam. You wouldn't have been with her now if you didn't think you wanted to be with her. Everything has an energy and a passion. And by the way, Linda must have thought the same way for her to be with you. She must have been manifesting, in my mind, because I think this is how I think it would happen. But she must have been manifesting the thought, I want to be with someone special. I want to be with someone who's going to take care of me, who's going to love me for me, who's not going to hurt me, who's going to love me unconditionally. You know, she was probably manifesting something like that. She was probably not manifesting, oh, she wanted a tall, dark, handsome geezer, but she got that as well. But the truth of the matter is, she was manifesting a want to be with someone great. And you were probably manifesting the fact that you went, oh my God, that's Linda Lusardi. I've been dreaming about this for my entire life. Oh my God, it's happening. And it happened. I think that's a real, that's a great example, actually. I did the same when I got on when I split up with my last girlfriend. I just thought to myself, I want to be with someone that I want to love now for the rest of my life. I just want to be with someone that I want to care for, love, look after, someone that's not going to hurt me, someone that's going to love me for me, and someone that's going to enjoy my good points and my bad points, but, be forgiving. And then, lo and behold, as it happens, I bumped into Michelle, my current wife, and it's been amazing. It's been 11 years and it's going strong. Twin boys, and it's great. We're having a great relationship and a great laugh. And now that she's, she can't even walk, it's great because I can just leave her anywhere in the house, and doesn't matter how much she shouts. So, these are the things that we can manifest in our lives. Any other questions? Debbie Wilkins, bless you, I've known her for years. I envisaged myself getting healthy and fit, and I did. I lost 5 pounds since before lockdown. I got power walking, and I do 6 1-hour walks a week. Right, so just keep that on there, Nick. Don't get rid of that for a minute. So you envisaged getting healthy and fit. Okay, now kind of thinking it is the first hurdle. Believing it is the second. Okay, picturing it and actually doing it are the third. Okay, you've got to believe you're going to do it. You've got to believe it, but you can't just think it for one day. And let me be honest with you, Debbie. You must have thought of this again and again and again, because what will happen is your body and your mind, by the way, and I'll tell you something now, 85% of what we think on a daily basis is negativity. That is a categorical scientific fact. 85% of what we do in our minds is negative. 15% of it is positive. Okay. How do we change that? Easy. Every day for 10 minutes, just 10 minutes, think of something more positive. And that's what Debbie's done. She's thought about losing weight. She's thought about walking. Lockdown. I'm in lockdown. I need to do something. I'm in lockdown. And look, she's done 6 1-hour walks a week. 6. How many people have done that? Thank you, Debbie. How many people have done that? How many people? How many people have read more than 4 books since lockdown? I have. How many people have signed up to courses online and learned something new? I have. I've got another one coming up end of May. And I've paid for it as well. How many of you have gone out every day and done, like I said last week, 15 deep breaths a day? I'm telling you, you don't understand the secret of how amazing that is. 15 deep breaths a day when you're walking outside. I walk my dog every morning at 6, between 6 and 6:30 every morning. I'm up at 5:30, categorically. I've got too much to achieve in one day. I've got too much to accomplish in one day. So I get up at 5:30. By 6 o'clock, I'm outside the door, or 6:15, I'm outside the door with my dog. And as I'm walking, 15 of those back to back. I have never thought more clearly in my life about what I want to achieve. And I'll tell you what I do when I'm breathing in deeply, by the way. As I'm breathing in, I'm going, I'm so healthy. I'm going to achieve so much today. I do 15 of those with positive thoughts after each one. It works for me. It works for me. I'm only passing on what works for me. 15 of those a day. Because we don't breathe like that normally. We shallow breathe. We shallow breathe. So we just go, we don't even hear it, do we? Half the time. Breathe deeply. 15 of those. Do more. I'm only saying 15 because that's what I do. I do 15 really deep breaths. It helps me. That's what I do. And then later I walk the dog again. I do another 15. I just do it because it helps me. But we are conditioned up to the age of 35 years old. We are conditioned by our past. So everything we've experienced, everything we've achieved, we've failed. The exes, the relationships, the job losses, the job gains, the car accidents, the accidents, like my wife experienced this week. Everything we've had in our lives until the age of 35 is what you recollect from your past. 85% of it's negative. 85. How the hell do people come out of lockdown positive when 85% of it's negative? Simple. Every day, every single day for 30 days, you know my theory on this. Every single day for 30 days, 10 minutes, think of something positive. And don't break it. Don't break it. Look at my house. I'm blessed. I've got a beautiful house. I've got a beautiful garden. I've got beautiful twin boys. Yes, they get on my nerves. They're little, crap bags at time. But they're healthy. What more can I ask for? My wife's in hospital. She's just had a broken ankle. Thank God it wasn't more serious. Thank God she didn't fall over and then crack her head open. Thank God she didn't, hurt herself to the point where she broke her spine and would never be able to walk again. Positive thinking. I don't think they're negative. I think, great. Thank God she didn't do more. Thank God. There you go. Or thank the infinite intelligence, which is what I say. Thank God God for me is infinite intelligence. And you can tap into it, by the way. You can tap into that intelligence. It's very simple. It's like a form of meditation, but you just tap into it. So, I do believe categorically you can manifest anything in your lives. Marina, Kev, I manifested a classic VW bay window yellow camper van. Didn't think I would ever afford one, but now I have. It's my pride and joy. It took 2 years of LOA every day. Sweetheart, thank you. This is what I'm trying to explain, and I will do bloody hell a lot more of this, because I truly believe you can manifest anything in your life. Manifest it. Simple as that. And it works. It works. Action is an attraction. Absolutely, Steve. Action is an attraction. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it works. Manifest it every single day. If someone wakes up in the morning and envisages, hey, this will work, by the way. If you envisage, oh, God, I wonder if I'm going to get stuck in traffic. I wonder if I'm going to get stuck in traffic. Well, you will, because you've manifested it. You've manifested traffic. And let's face it, England's not far off, manifesting traffic anyway. It does it on its own. Yeah. But you're manifesting it. Do you know what I do when I leave home? I'll go, hopefully, the car park bay at the theatre or the venue I'm going to be performing at will be empty. No, not hopefully. Sorry, I don't think hopefully. I apologize. Let me get the facts right. I go, it will be available when I get there. I don't even think about the traffic. I just think that bay is going to be there for me. It's got my name on it. And every time I've turned up to a venue, a theatre, or any location that I'm performing in, it's there. It's there every single time. I've never, ever had to worry. Even while my wife's been in hospital, I turn up every other day to drop some, water for her, wet wipes or, some fizzy lemonade or something like that. And I always envisage there's a car park bay for me with my name on it in a hospital where you cannot get any parking any time of the year. And I always end up getting one. Every single time. That's just something I manifest. It's a silly game. But here's another one for you. A mate of mine constantly says to me, do you know what? I get so many freaking bills. So many debt bills. So many of these. I'm fed up of it. And they go, what do you do when you wake up in the morning? He goes, I always think, I hope I don't get another one of those coming through the door. Boom! Boom! You've just said it. I hope I don't get one coming through the door. Well, if you don't want one, don't think about getting one. The moment you think it, you manifest it. More questions. Deep breathing helps me too. Navad is the most beautiful woman in America, the whole of Hollywood, to be fair. She is, and I'm not just talking with looks, I'm talking with her heart. She's the most giving, most wonderful human being. And she's so wonderful, this lady. She's a gem, right? And her and her husband, he is just out of this world. Adam is one of the nicest human beings on the planet. And he's one of the reasons why I do a lot of shows in America. And I'll tell you something now. He's an architect. Okay? He's an architect. Imagine the kind of manifesting he's doing in his head, creating buildings. I mean, you've got to design these things in your head before you even draw it. These things are just like the man, and some of the buildings this man's built is out of this world. But again, it's a manifestation. You think it, you believe it, and it will happen. And I'm not even going to embarrass them by telling the world where their house is, but I've been to it, and it's a view that even God appreciates. I'll tell you that much. It's a wonderful view. Any other questions? I've got to say, we've had so many wonderful people coming online and sharing these stories with us. Esther, when will you do Panto again? Well, I've been thinking in my head, manifesting, when will I be working again? And what I do is, rather than saying, when will I be working, I manifest the idea of, I wonder, am I going to be able to fit in as many shows this year as possible? Because by saying, when am I going to get a gig in, it won't come in. When? If I say, on Thursday, I'm going to get a call for a show next year, it'll come in. Well, it did. Last week, week before. And if Lucy's watching, there's a lady called Lucy. She's the one that booked me. 2 weeks ago, I went, I said, I want to start early with my shows next year. And I manifested this idea in my head. I want to start working very early next year, because predominantly January and February are dead months for performers, for comedians. I'm not thinking that way anymore. I'm going, nah, people are going to watch shows. So I'm going, I want to start early. I want to start booking shows in next year, nice and early. Boom. Got a call that day. Kev, can you do February the 10th? You what? Can you do February the 10th? We'd like a show. Or February the 7th, I think it was. Can you do a show for us? Yeah, absolutely. Boom, booked. I manifested it and I wanted it and it happened. So every day I'm doing that. I can't share with you at the moment a very big thing that happened to me this week. Last week, apologies. Happened to me last week. But I manifested something that's been going on for some time, about 2 years. And I manifested it and it came true 2-3 weeks ago. And I can't share it at the moment, but it will happen this year. You'll know more about it this year. But it just shows you, if you think it and believe it, it will come true. Katie Williams, the most beautiful young lady and a very talented lady she is. And her father, Russ, is one of my best mates. Dad has always taught me, if you believe, you will achieve. And it's made my ambition stronger. I genuinely do believe. Of course you do, darling. And Katie is a very aspiring young actress, very similar to Sam Cane's daughter, Lucy. I think you're a couple of years younger than Lucy. And she's brilliant at singing, just like Lucy. And she's a great performer, a great actress. Now, if she can genuinely, Katie, here's one for you. If you can genuinely wake up in the mornings and believe that you've got to have breakfast, then you've got to jump in your car and you've got to go into London, into the West End to do your show. Yeah, I guarantee you, at some point, very, very soon, that will happen. Once the West End opens back up again, that will happen. If you can say to yourself every morning, right, I'm going to have my breakfast, I've got a show in the West End, I've got to go, I'm playing the lead, it will happen. I know it sounds odd, but it will happen. So you've got to believe that. You've got to. And this is what I'm saying. The more negative you are, the more negativity you attract. The more positive you are, the more positivity you attract. So how do we change 85% of negativity to positivity? Simple. Every day, think for 10 minutes something positive and don't break it. Don't break the positivity. If you break it, start again. Start again. Don't break the positivity. For 10 minutes, think everything that you're grateful for. Gratitude. Okay? That's another key word, gratitude. If you don't have gratitude, nothing will ever come to you. Okay? It doesn't matter how positive you think. You've got to think, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Even if you don't have it, thank you. Because at some point it will become real. Okay? So every day for 10 minutes, I would do it, if I were you, the moment you open your eyes. The moment you open your eyes, plan your day. Tell the energy what you want, because you can't go back. So you can't go back. And for goodness sake, the moment you open your eyes, okay, don't then think, right, I'm going to go back to sleep again. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid, because that's when you lose everything. And you go to procrastination, you become lazy, and you attract the negativity back in your life immediately. Why? Because you've woken up and your body's gone, yes, come on, let's do it. Let's have a great day. Nah, sorry, I'm just going to back to sleep again. Waste of time. Waste of time. Ray, this is refreshing. Is this every day? Great job, my brother. No, it's not every day, Ray. But once a week we're doing this at the moment, this motivational talk. But I'll be honest with you, it's important. And Ray's from America. He's from Los Angeles. He's an awesome human being, a lovely, lovely man. Great talent as well. Great talent. Great hockey player. But again, Ray, yeah, every day. But what I do every day, I truly do this every day. The moment I wake up, today's going to be amazing. Today's going to be amazing. Do you know what? It's not sunny at the moment. It's going to be sunny later. No, I can't control what the planet does with weather. But I think to myself, it's going to be a nice day. It's going to be a great day. And I'm going to achieve this. I'm going to do something that I didn't do yesterday that's going to make me greater today. I'm going to do something. Don't forget affirmations. Absolutely, Russ. Absolutely, brother. And that's another one. Me and Russ, we talk regularly. We talk more to each other than our wives, I'll be honest. Our conversations, me and Russ, 2 hours at least, every day. But whilst we're talking, we're creating. We're creating ideas. We're creating situations. We're talking. We're getting excited. We're getting energy. And I thrive on his energy, and I know he thrives on mine. So what I'm saying to you guys is, whatever you do, until next Friday, when hopefully you'll join me again, please do share this with your friends and family. And, you know, thank you for watching all the shows that we've put on so far. But every morning for the next 7 days, for me, try it yourselves. Just wake up. The moment you open your eyes, okay, drink a glass of water. Okay, drink a glass of water. Trust me, I'll talk about that on another show. Drink a glass of water and think, today's going to be a great day. Something incredible is coming to me today. Something incredible is coming to me today. And the powers that are will need to do that for you. You've got to believe it, though. In here, and in your gut. You've got to believe it. Have the passion. I promise you it will work. It's worked for me, and it works for me every day. From the age of 31, and now I'm 46, I've been doing it regularly. And this is where I am today. You know, I work, I tour all over the world. I meet incredible people, and I have the most amazing friends around the world who have all come online all the way from America as well. And my best mates, you know, Sam and Russ, and everyone's been on here. Stevie Pink, who's an incredible human being. Thank you all for joining me. Just do that for me, guys, please. Wake up in the morning and think positive thoughts, and then try it again during the day, another 10 minutes. Trust me, that 85% negative will become a much lower denomination, because I genuinely have about 5 to 6, maybe 10% of negativity on a daily basis, and that can be generated by someone else, which I'll talk about as well. Because if they're creating negativity, then you're allowing them to pass their negativity on to you. Listen, guys, thank you so much for listening. I can't thank you enough. We'll be on again next Friday, 8 p.m. I love you all. So many of you have been joining me. I know we're still in lockdown, but stay in touch, stay close, look after each other, smile, be happy. And on Wednesday night, with my new TV show, Howling TV, I've got 3 brilliant guests, and I can't wait to share that with you on Monday night. So look out for the posters on Kev Orkian Official, Billionaire Talent, Howling Entertainment, all on Facebook. Join the pages on Insta and Twitter. In the meantime, I love you all. Take care and stay positive.